Good morning. This is Sunday, and this is the Lord's Day, and we should go to Mass, but we don't. You know why? It's a Protestant Mass. It's not a Catholic Mass. The Roman Catholic Church is not the Roman Catholic Church anymore. Vatican II decided to make it Protestant. We have entertainment now. We have a guitar group to the left of the altar to entertain us when we first come into Mass, and we can chat and talk and get along. Kids can run up and down the hall, the aisle screaming and crying, and it's all okay. There's no more mother's booths. You can just do what you want. Um, and there's no silence. There is absolutely no silence before Mass. There's nobody becoming humble, getting ready to receive Christ. Nobody, not even the priest. There's no Gregorian chant. There's no bells to signal when we kneel. There, there's how do we know? How do we humble ourselves to Christ if we don't have any of the things that signal us to do so? If we don't if we don't prepare God's house to receive visitors, how do you expect the visitors to be respectful of his house? I ask you that in seriousness. Is this not God's house anymore? Does this belong to, oh, I'm sorry, it belongs to the Vatican. How silly of me to think that this would be God's house. The Vatican owns it all now. They can do whatever they want. And they have no respect. We already know that. Anyone can read the gospel. Borrow some Protestants. They'll stand up there and read the gospel to you. We have no idea if they even understand it. What happened to the days when you couldn't read the Bible without a priest? What happened to the days when you had to have a priest to interpret that Bible to you? Those days are gone. Now anybody and everybody can read that Bible and tell you how it was and give you whatever they think the interpretation is. What happened to all that? You took everything you taught us and tore it away, threw it away. It doesn't count anymore. So what are you saying? That what you taught us, what you made us learn as children was not right? That it was wrong? Are you saying you screwed up way back earlier? Because obviously you're not going to admit you screwed up now. So, and then this timing of the Holy Communion. The priest has to have all these people help him hand out communion because it takes too much time for him to give communion to every person. Well, not for nothing, but excuse me, isn't he supposed to be representing Christ by giving us communion? Those people aren't representing Christ. Where did all this craziness come from? Who interpreted all this garbage? So, I cannot believe these priests are so lackadaisy. And these people stand up there shuffling these hosts like they're blackjack dealers or something, and people go up, put their hand out and get their share and slip it in your pocket and walk away. Nobody knows what they're doing with these hosts. Nobody gets on their knees and humbles themselves to Christ to receive him. They just walk up and get their share of the host and keep on walking. Take a little sip of wine on your way out. This is disgraceful. This is really disgraceful. And the peace exchange. Dear God, help me. I'll never understand the peace exchange. I feel like Medea at a family reunion. It's like a frickin' love-in, okay? Everybody's bending over pews and hugging and shaking hands and, oh, how are you? Hey, did you go to the barbecue last Saturday? Just they're having a love fest back here. And this is supposed to be a Catholic church? Well, not for nothing, But when you go to a church and there's kids running up and down the aisle screaming, hollering, carrying on, and people are reaching over the aisle to hug each other, talk about last Saturday's barbecue, and and then you go up to get communion, you go up there, it's like you're going to a barbecue. Why would they dress any differently than if they were going to a backyard barbecue? Because that's exactly how it looks like what they're going to. It doesn't look like they're going to church. This whole mess does not look and does not not in the first way resemble mass. Okay? And so people dress like they're not going anyplace important. Of course they do. What are these priests stupid? Are the cardinals stupid? The bishops are they stupid? They actually expect people to dress up to come to the free for all. That's not going to happen. If you don't have respect for something, you don't dress like you have respect for something. Okay? So, and then communion from Protestants. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I don't do that. Okay? There's no rail. You can't kneel and humble yourself to Christ. There's no rail. They took communion rails out, threw them away. We don't need them. We're not doing communion. Okay? And you don't get it on your tongue. Well, no, because you got the blackjack dealers up there shuffling it out to everybody. Why would you need it on your tongue? Okay? And and saying the Our Father while holding hands is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen in a Catholic church. And I say this in all cynicism because that's not a Catholic church anymore. Holding hands with strangers to say the Our Father. That's not how Christ taught us to say the Our Father. He taught us to get on our knees and humble ourselves to Him and say the Our Father. That's what He taught us. Put your hands up and humble yourself to Him. Don't hold hands with some strangers. I know you kissed during the offering, but that's beside the fact. This is how people are meeting for dating now. I mean, I don't know, but this is all so crazy. And then the priest leaves without even saying, "Go in peace, the mass is ended." He just walks out the door. And people sit around for a while and they say, "Oh, okay, I guess the mass is over." Get up and they leave. Why are they're not teaching them anything in seminary school? They're going to seminary school, they're learning nothing but how to molest little boys? Is that all they get? I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm sorry that I had to live to see it in my lifetime. I really am. And I'm hoping that I'll live long enough to see the church change back to being a Catholic mass and not a Protestant one. Because right now, that is what we have. And it's a disgrace. And the Pope needs to be ashamed of himself for even saying that this is a mass. And he should be ashamed of himself for telling the president what to do in his country. The Pope can't run his own country, the Vatican. That's right. The Vatican is a country. It's a small country, but it's a country. And the Pope can't run it right. How in the hell are you going to help run the United States? And I'm sorry, but I get pretty upset about this whole thing because, as a little girl, I remember the nuns cracking them rulers on the desk. You will learn these prayers. You will memorize these prayers. 6 years old, you had to memorize 12 prayers. Who, who even did? Talk about child abuse. That was the worst of the worst. But we did it. We did. It's ingrained in here now. We don't know how to do the Protestant Mass, and we never will learn how. That's right, because we were trained like little robots when we were children. Little children, kindergarten on up. We were trained. We were conditioned. We were brainwashed. We don't know anything else. And we're not going to learn Vatican II's Protestant version of Mass. That's not going to happen. More and more Catholics are going to leave. And yeah, you're getting more Catholics in the church. You want to know who they are? You know who they are. The LBGQT. Well, of course, the priests molest little boys. That's a good place to go to church. Okay, so why wouldn't all the homosexuals want to go to church there? Think about that a little bit. You know, and you're running around where we're going to bless same-sex marriages. You know, not for nothing, but Pope Leo, you're just showing the whole world how stupid you really are. And I'm sorry if that offends you. No, I'm not sorry. I want it to offend you because you have offended every single Catholic in this world who worked so hard to be a good Catholic and who spent their life working to give to the church and follow the Catholic Church and do everything right as a Roman Catholic. And then you made fun of the whole thing. Yeah. So I don't apologize. You are stupid and you deserve everything that happens to you. And I do believe, in my heart of hearts, I do believe Christ will put an end to this. I believe he will strike down all the evil that is in the Vatican right now. Because if all of us Catholics keep praying hard enough, it will happen. Because you know what? God does answer prayers, whether you believe it or not. And we know he will get you. And he's not a vengeful God, but he will protect his people. He will protect his followers. He will help us. We just have to keep praying and believe. That's one thing you can't take away from us. You want to, you try to, you think you can, but you can't. So, I don't see you ever winning on this one. I see you finally being excommunicated yourself. That's what I think is going to happen, and that's what I think should happen. We need a pope who's going to lead us the way Christ did, not with his own version of how things should be. If you want to be queer, go be queer outside the church. And I say that with my heart full. I say that because only someone who wants to molest little boys would be behaving the way you are right now. And it's a shame what you've done. It's a disgrace what you've done. And all those little boys who became Catholics and who believed in the church got their hearts broken and their minds twisted from your priests, from the Vatican, too. Didn't they do a wonderful job? Isn't that marvelous? You should be ashamed of yourselves. But I got news for you. The Catholic Church will come back sooner or later. There's going to be enough Roman Catholics, there's going to be enough Latin Masses that the Catholics will rise back up and we will get our church back. You're not going to stop us. And I tell every Catholic out there, keep believing in what you were originally taught because it's the truth. What the Vatican is doing now is not the truth. It's wrong and it's evil, and the devil is in the Vatican. If you believe in what I'm saying, or even if you don't, if you just want to learn more about what's going on with the Catholics, subscribe below because I'm going to keep telling you as I see it, and I'm going to keep believing. So until then, thank you.